Hello guys, welcome back. Now today we're gonna go over the Flutterpage kit. Still a little bit of questions, but now we have the properly presented version, which is way easier to understand and read, and that's why we're checking it. Now, if you have any other questions or you perceive something or you see something that I didn't see, let me know in the comments, okay? If you want to be kept up to speed, up to date with the kits of the characters, you can join my Discord. We talk about this shit all the time. So, you know, you're gonna get tagged and stuff. Gonna have all the pinned messages about the good shit. So, link is in the description. Now, first of all, let's see the inside, okay? Now, inside, I can fly. After any ally takes an action, a Flutterpage gain wind speed, which is a stack like cosmic energy from Mercuria, lasting a certain number of rounds. At the beginning of the round, Flutterpage gains the Paper Parade, Bedsheet Waves, or Goodbye Earth, Force Fields, not array, Force Fields. And the Force Fields, again, is not a domain, it's just an aura that they have. So you can do a domain and a Force Field, based on how many wind speed stacks she has. And removes all their Force Fields, so they cannot coexist, but they cycle, is like basically Isolde. Think about Isolde going from the various phases. This is the same. Insight 2, the classic attack, whatever. I feel like they should do something more with Insight 2. A little note, but whatever. Increase own attack's gonna be like 80%, maybe 5, probably 5%. 8% usually for crit. Max Eureka increase on I3. After attacking, gain Eureka. When entering battle, increase on Moxie and gain a certain number of wind speed stacks. So you start with a little bit, so I'm assuming it would be maybe enough or really close from triggering the first force field, which is Paper Parade. Paper Parade is the first force field and it affects all allies. Additional reality damage dealt is treated as being dealt by Flutterpage. Now, there's a couple of questions here, which is the additional reality damage referred for as the follow-up attack? Are we talking about the follow-up attack that deals reality damage? Are we talking about anything that does extra reality damage is being treated as being dealt by Flutterpage? It's a little bit of confusion there, a little bit of fog, but being treated as being dealt by Flutterpage. What does this mean? Does it mean that the damage is going to count as being a star of Flutters? So if you're doing a follow-up with Chew, for example, which is supposed to be mineral, but you are inside the Paper Parade, is it gonna count as a star? A star of Flutters is it gonna be in the sense of you're getting the buffs from Flutterpage for that follow-up attack? We still don't know. We're gonna have to check in when the character comes out, which I will be pulling on day one, and I will be streaming live at twitch.tv/Jakazin. So if you want to see it with your eyes and want to check and try the character, you know where to come. Now, when actively attacking, deal additional reality damage and deal increase additional reality damage to the main target. This is just assuming it's just a buff in general, and applies for all allies. When taking an extra action, now this is specified to be a follow-up attack, consume Eureka to deal additional reality damage and even more to the main target. Now, with wind speed increasing, we go past the trigger, probably a trigger number, and we get into the next tier of array, which is Force Field, which is Bedsheet Waves. Now, this removes Paper Parade because it's basically Paper Parade with extra effects. And this is how this is gonna work. So, Bedsheet Waves says that when taking an extra action, doing an extraction, based on the number of wind speed stacks of Flutterpage, increase the Genesis damage and the Genesis damage dealt. So you're gonna have higher Genesis damage and high damage in general. Now, the question here, a little bit of a question: where is this Genesis damage coming from? We don't really have a saying, like we don't see the Genesis damage coming from any of her skills, but you know. But it is something that we gotta check. Is this going to apply for other characters? A couple of questions. So, Goodbye Earth is what we get after a certain point of wind speed stacks, and we get to the final force field. This force field is basically comprised by every other force field's abilities plus extra, which are When taking an extra action, it is guaranteed a crit at increased damage and Genesis damage dealt based on our crit rate and damage. So you want to build Flutterpage crit rate and crit damage, including the frequency, because you want to get more Genesis damage and more increased damage in general, because you're also critting thanks to Goodbye Earth. Now, this is the array. I don't know why I keep saying it. This is the insight. I am insane today. Incantation 1. Let's go and check our skills. Incantation 1, Knock Knock. Mass attack. Deals reality damage to 2 enemies. Gains wind speed. So we can keep the wind speed up by doing this first incantation. And also another AoE. Now we have Incantation 2, Caught on Kite, which is probably one of the craziest single target attacks in a while. It's a 1 target attack, deals reality damage to an enemy against continuous action 1. This continuous action 1 is AP +1 next round, which means that the next round we're gonna have, you know, the 4 sockets, 3 or 4 sockets that you have when you can put the card in. Your action points, they're called. You're going to have 1 more next round. If you do that, it's just an incantation. So you can just generate the card, get AP +1, and this is going to help tremendously on everything. It's going to help Flutterpage with their setup. It's going to help the other characters that are playing with Flutterpage. This is huge. Really, 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 really insane, really big buff coming from just a normal 1 target attack. So, okay. Extra incantation, greetings from a white bird. This is the extra. It's a mass attack, deals reality damage to all enemies, and deals additional reality damage to main target. Okay, so keep this in mind. This is what is going to be cast soon. Now, the ultimate, it's a dream that never grows up. It's a self-channel. Gains max Eureka, so you gain back your whatever max Eureka you have, 6, 7, whatever. Converts all of your incantation that you have on your hand into greetings from a white bird, which is the extra incantation, and cast them all if able. So I'm assuming if you don't get stunned, you will be casting all of your now converted cards. So it's like, think about Windsong ult, smaller obviously, because you can't really keep them on your hand too much, because you don't have a generating like a pre-generation card like Windsong has. But you can probably save a little bit if you wanna do full power, and you will be converting all of your cards from Flutterpage card in your hand into that AoE attack. So it's a AoE Windsong ult basically, mini size, but that's how basically it works. After that, enters a dream that never grows up status. After you do that. So this is a status, I think it's just a channel, it's another channel that goes after the first channeling of the ultimate. And basically this states that at the start of the round, recovers all Eureka, again, converts all our incantation into greetings from a white bird, which is basically the ultimate replayed again, and cast them all if able. At the end of the round, cast greetings from a white bird automatically, so at least you have 1 more AoE mass attack extra incantation that you can do during this new status. When this channel ends, you gain Moxie based on the current amount of wind speed stacks owned. Cannot gain Moxie while channeling. So basically, you could probably help yourself by using the Windsong tuning from 1.9 to generate cards for Flutterpage at a precise time so that you can maximize the double ultimate, basically. So you're first doing the ultimate, then you go into Dream that never grows up, but you need more cards. So at that point, you generate the cards if you can. We'll have to see the timing on these. And then have more cards to convert for the second part of this, right? During the Dream that never grows up, you want to have more cards at this point. When does this go? At the start of the round, does it mean before we get to play? Does it mean after we get the new set of cards for the next turn? We'll have to see, like in game. This is something that we can only see when we're actually playing with the character. But overall, this character is actually pretty interesting. It feels like don't want to say a better 37. But it's a communist 37 basically. So it's a 37 that it's also helping the allies, increasing their damage, and you are applying a force field constantly, increasing reality and Genesis damage apparently. And you're also dealing damage yourself, and you're giving AP +1. So this character is actually pretty good, and this patch looks like we are going hard on the DPSs. We got Willow with the poison and Flutterpage with bombardment AoE, basically. Like, long story short, big bombardment of AoEs, extra follow-up attacks. Now, sure, you can play them together, 37 and Flutterpage, because of all of these extra actions that she's gonna do. 37 is gonna get like 50,000 Eureka, but you know, it's up to you which teams you wanna cook. That said, that is it for Windsong as well. That was it a couple of months ago. That is also it for Flutterpage. Let me know what you think. Did you see something specific? Like, did you understand something in a different way? Do you have a theory about some of these aspects of the kit? Let me know anything about it. Let me know in the comments, okay? I will read them and I will pin the one that is most cooking the most, okay? I will pin the Gordon Ramsay in the comments. So let me know. That's it. Thank you for watching and see you next time.